Hey, as promised, I thought I'd show a little bit of the progress I've been doing on the Gunvolt Scrub percent speedrun. I've seen some other people actually mention that they don't like the combat in this game too. I always thought that I was kind of like the, you know, the outcast, but there are other people that dislike the combat. They don't feel that it's very interactive. I think with Copen, the game is a lot better overall, because the scoring actually has some kind of, you know, a little bit more interesting flow to it. But with Gunvolt, I'm not a fan of how you have to completely stop what you're doing to score at all, which is why I just played this game with a speedrun mentality. I've seen other people wanting it to have more, you know, interactive stuff in the combat, and I hope that that will happen at some point. I watched the secret ending you get for doing 80% of the challenges with both characters, and apparently like leaves it open for a sequel. So I hope that will happen at some point. Right now they're working on Dragon Mark for Death, which looks really awesome. I'm pretty excited for that game. But they haven't shown much gameplay, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm getting myself in for yet. I'm not gonna call this skillful. The only skillful part of this speedrun is the movement. But like I said, I don't particularly care for the boss battles in this anyway, so it's fun. You can just kind of focus on the movement, relax. It's a chill speedrun. I've practiced most of the levels off camera. Alright, so now Tenjian is going to get one shot. I'm not going to go through the full run. I'll probably do another level or two after this, just to kind of show what I've been working on. You can see how fast this is going to go though, especially since I have all the cutscenes turned off. Good pace so far.
As broken as this seems, this is pretty much how the Zero games played, which is also made by the same developer, just under the name of Capcom, or rather, outsourced. In that game, you had the Charge Saber, which would one-shot pretty much anything. So the whole game plan was to always have the saber charged, and if you ran up next to something, you just kind of released it, and that will let you keep your momentum. So it's what I really liked about that game was that the movement and the combat was the pacing of it was far better balanced than it is here. But in this game, at least with Gunvolt, you have to completely like stop to do anything, which is what kind of slows the game down, especially if you're trying to go for score. Ah, I messed up. Can't stand this boss. I don't understand the pattern. There we go. I'll do another one. Seems like most people aren't really interested in this game, which is fine. I didn't really buy this expecting viewers or anything. It's something I wanted to get, and apparently it's like going out of print, so I'm really glad I got it when I did. It's probably be worth something in the near future. A lot of these niche games that are getting physical versions are like they're not going to be around for long. I think this is definitely one of the better remasters I've played this past generation of video games. Like, they actually did add quite a bit. Like, the value of it is not bad at all, especially since they double the frame rate and they give you the DLC too. The DLC's nothing spectacular, but you know, they could have easily charged for that like a lot of these other remasters are, so I think it's cool that they really did give you the complete experience. The only thing it's missing is the exclusive stuff from Gunvolt 1 on Steam. But that's mostly stuff for speedrunners, so, you know, if you're not a speedrunner, I don't really think you're missing out on much. Well, these little forced combat rooms, you can usually shoot the alarm on the top and it'll just end it completely. The original game had that too. A lot of the forced combat rooms you didn't actually have to fight in if you didn't want to. Some people don't like the speedrun focus of this game. I actually like how it is built for speedrunning. I just feel that the scoring mechanic is boring just due to the way that the protagonist, which is this character, the way that he fights, just doesn't interest me at all. I might actually do some score attack stuff with Copen, and he's a lot more involved. Ah, missed a cycle. Yeah, that was a good fight. So sometimes you can just use one charge buster shot to get them into their next phase, and then just run into them to activate your pervasion and lower your EP or your septimal points. And then at that point, once you overheat, you'll one-shot them regardless. That seems to be the best way to do it. I'll go ahead and I'll do one more. You can't skip this combat room, unfortunately, so you have to fight.
There we go. Perfect fight. It's funny that, and I went in the Discord for Gunvolt speedruns, and I was talking about how I wanted to do this, and someone who does like the legit speedruns on this without the gear and stuff, he said that he didn't want another category in the leaderboards, and I just said that I just wanted to do it because it's fun. It kind of brings back the feeling of playing an Inti Creates Mega Man Zero game, where the pacing was actually very similar to what I'm doing now. Yeah, the bosses lasted a little longer, but you could still just rip them to shreds really quickly. I thought the pacing of those games was like near perfect. And this game is like really close. But as soon as you have to like actually do damage to something, like without this gear setup that I'm using, everything just slows down to a crawl, and I think that's something they need to fix in the next game. Be it if they give Gunvolt some kind of like charge kick move or something. That was always how I thought that they could kind of emulate the momentum and the pacing that Mega Man Zero had. Or they just add a melee character completely. I think that they will probably deal with the latter. I hope so. I definitely like this game's the movement. It's just the scoring and the combat does not really interest me. But I might do some scoring with Copen, so if you guys want to see that, I might do that as well. But there's my progress on the Gunvolt 2 speedrun. That was about roughly half the run. Some of these levels are just bosses, so I'll probably go through those later on. Anyway, that's it. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.